Hi, I'm Tim. Welcome to our channel and thanks for logging on. Today we're discussing the 2014 400-piece limited edition Patek Philippe 5975R-001. The 400-piece limited edition being a triple scale 40mm rose gold flyback chronograph that you can see and purchase on our website. Subscribe to our YouTube channel if you enjoy these videos, and please click on the card in the upper right hand corner of the screen at any point during this video to see our full sales listing for this watch with additional accessories included in the sale, high-resolution images for your desktop, and naturally complete pricing details for this Patek Philippe 5975R-001. Now, for the anniversary year 2014, Patek Philippe brought out a couple of heavy hitters. Of course, there was the Grandmaster Chime. There was also the World Time Moon Phase that broke the internet. People loved those watches. They were spectacular. They were sensational in their size and complication and their novelty, but none tickled the imagination or animated the sense of humor quite as much as the 60-second flyback chronograph you see on my wrist. Now, the timepiece is 40mm across the round of the case, not including the crown or the chronograph pushers. It's fairly slim, though no one will mistake it for an ultra-thin at 10.5mm thick. It does have a generously sloped conical bezel to allow it to slide underneath a dress cuff, and from lug to lug, its most compact relative dimension, considering the 40mm case, it's a tidy 46.6mm from lug to lug horizontally across the wrist, meaning I believe you could wear this watch comfortably on a wrist as small as 14 centimeters in circumference. Now, the watch has a remarkable design about it. There's something about the faceting of these lugs, the bezel, the case flank. You see how the lip of the bezel and the case back actually flare out beyond the case band. There's a little bit of an overrider quality about the lugs, and if you look at the watch in detail, and I'm trying to get a little bit closer here, you can see that the lugs are a separate structure from the bezel, and they actually hover just above it. When the watch case goes together, it must be like a jigsaw puzzle, but it has strong and distinctive character lines that set it apart from any modern Patek Philippe. There might be a little bit of a shade, perhaps just a little, of the 5320 perpetual calendar, but this watch came before that one. So if anything, this is the prototype. One of the most distinctive dials and cases of the modern era of Patek. The watch is born on a medium brown rectangular scale, unbolstered, folded edge, monotone stitch alligator leather strap with calfskin on the bottom. Of course, pull tabs for the strap removal. You can remove the strap for close cleaning between the lugs, or to switch straps using the pull tabs and your thumbnails. No tools or jewelers necessary. Now you can see 175 years is a long time, and the solid caseback attests to the passage of time and that wonderful anniversary year of 2014. Novelties and special presentations, videos, worldwide events designed to ensure we remember that year and these watches forever. Now, rose gold, yellow gold, and white gold, 400 of each were made for the 5975 reference. 100 with black dial and platinum case were executed. The rose gold is easily the warmest of the group. Really better described as a red gold. I'm sure this is a 5N alloy because it is incredibly rich and dark. All of high polish, it makes for a dramatic presentation with all of those facets and character lines. Now, the dial is a triple scale. You have a pulsation scale, so you can gauge someone's pulse. You count, essentially, if you start the chronograph, and we'll use the flyback functionality to demonstrate that. If you start the chronograph, and then you count 15 pulses, when you count 15, you stop the chronograph, and then you read on the pulsation scale how many pulse beats per minute that patient will experience over a full minute. So, essentially, count to 15, stop the chronograph. Whatever number you read on the pulsation scale is the patient's beats per minute. Now, there's also a tachymeter, which is used to gauge the speed of an object over a fixed distance, such as a standing kilometer. And there is a telemeter, the spiral pattern at center, which is used along with sighting in the field, traditionally for gauging the distance of artillery impact. So, for instance, you have the moment you see the impact, you have a fixed speed of sound at sea level, and then you have the time from the watch, and in combination, those factors and the telemeter scale gives you the distance to the impact. So you can use that for bracketing a target. Okay, so that's a little bit morbid, but the bottom line is the other two scales should come in handy for the rest of us. It is a doctor's chronograph, it is a sportsman's chronograph, it could even be a soldier's chronograph, but the bottom line is with only the 60-second scale, it restarts every 60 seconds. So you have the flyback functionality generally to time things that happen very quickly over a short duration. Now you can still stop, reset, and restart the chronograph conventionally. Just remember, beyond a minute, you're on your own. You'll also note that the watch features vintage-style rectangular lozenge profile pushers rather than rounded pump pushers. This is an older style evocative of pre-1950s chronographs. Because of the solid caseback, you'll never see it, but inside is the CH28520 automatic vertical clutch column wheel chronograph. And this is why that's important. Okay, the column wheel means the actuation is crisp. You feel it, you hear it, it's satisfying to operate. The automatic winding is convenient, and the watch has a 50 to 55 hour power reserve when fully energized. It is the vertical clutch functionality that you're going to want here, because with a vertical clutch, not only does the seconds hand start and stop without jump or stagger, but you can simply leave it engaged, which is a big deal considering there is no constant seconds for this chronograph, so the dial feels rather inert if you don't have some sort of constantly moving indicator. Well, because of the vertical clutch, you can just leave the chronograph engaged, and now you have a large blackened lancet seconds hand to complement your faceted rose gold Dauphine style hour and minute hands. So that's why you want the vertical clutch. Unlike a lateral clutch like what you'd see in a 5270 or a 5170, there's no additional wear and tear from leaving the chronograph in action. Other refinements, unidirectional winding and ceramic rotor bearings, ensure that this is a very efficient winder. It doesn't take a lot of activity on the wrist to energize it and keep it running. 3 ATM water resistance means it is a sporty watch, but it's not a sports watch. Finally, of course, though you can't see it, everything underneath is finished the same standard as you would find on a Patek Philippe 5170 or 5270. So although I can't show you precisely what that movement would look like, I can show you the standard of Patek Philippe finish that you're getting underneath the caseback. This is a different caliber, but executed to the same level of artisanal virtuosity. This is the 29535 in a 5270G. So the ultimate sign of integrity, finishing what the owner cannot see. It'll be there for your watchmaker's enjoyment and for your psychic satisfaction. This is a hell of a lot of watch, even if it doesn't give you a hell of a lot of chronograph timing. The watch has 3 scales for a 40mm case that's ruggedly profiled in a fashion of no Patek Philippe before or since, one of the most distinctive watches ever to come out of Geneva's giant of high horology. You can see and you can purchase this 5975R on our website.